check-ins throughout the day. I can just have it on all day. Download the Odyssey app and listen anywhere with News Radio WRVA. Good morning. Thanks for listening to Richmond's Morning News with Rich Rivera on News Radio.
Ba 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 ba. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Richmond's Morning News here on News Radio WRVA. Either wake up with us or play catch up because you're already falling behind the pack before your day even gets started. That's why people wake up with Richmond's Morning News, so they're ahead of everybody else as they hit the ground running. Okay, I need to point something out because you're not going to hear this a lot of other places, so listen up. I'm going to do something very simple and easy for you. I'm going to connect the dots on something that I see here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. You're not going to read this in the newspaper. You probably won't hear this anywhere else, but listen, work with me here. Are you ready? Right now, we're in the middle of this big fight over gerrymandering. One side says it's fair. It's all about fairness. We must stop Donald Trump and his corruption and everything he's doing, and we need fair maps. In order to do that, we need to gerrymander, redistrict right now, push aside our Constitution. It's the just right thing to do to stop Donald Trump. That was Hakeem Jeffries was here saying this. Abigail Spanberger saying this. Ghazala Hasmi saying this. The Democrats are saying this. So the same people that brought you this whole gerrymandering idea, in order to save democracy, you must suspend democracy here in the Commonwealth of Virginia and set aside our constitutional amendment that was passed just 5-6 years ago and give the Democrats the opportunity to draw the maps and have a 10-1 advantage for the next 3 election cycles, which are just kind of temporary according to them. But we must do it in order to save democracy. The logic goes in circles, but listen, you want to argue that, we can have that conversation and we can talk about that. I'm okay with that. We can debate the merits of that. And by the way, there's a new poll that just came out. I just got an email. Let me grab this for you real quick. New poll just came out on, here it is right here. New poll on redistricting. Slate Navigate releases a new poll on redistricting and Abigail Spanberger's approval rating this morning. The Vote Yes campaign is leading by 5 points in this poll. Yes, that accounts for 50.7%. The no's are at 45. Wait a minute. Wait a sec. Did I get this right? Oh, the yes. No, wait a minute. This is backwards. Darn it. I got all excited about this. Never mind. It's so illogical for me. Okay. You're down by 5 if you're a no. And okay, don't blame me. This stupid thing is so confusing. So confusing. When you read it, irritating. All right, let's get this right. Yes campaign leads in a new poll on redistricting. Right now, they're up by 5 points in the poll. Yes accounts 57, no 45.4. What in the world are you 50% thinking of? Democrats are overwhelming back the measure. 92% say they have voted for the plan to vote yes, and 5% opposed. We're live streaming on YouTube and Facebook at Rich for America. Rich for America, the number 4. I just did the palm thing to my face. Like the emoji. 92% they're saying to back it. 5% say no. Republicans are unified. 95% yes. 2% are supporting. What 2% of Republicans would even think this was the right thing to do? Interesting though. Independent. Okay, this is the part that I saw earlier and I got excited about. Here's what we have: independents. True independents, those who do not lean towards either party. 56% say they're voting no, while 32% say they're voting yes. Among likely voters, 47 approve of Spanberger's job performance, while 47 disapprove. Intensity skews more negative. 41 strongly disapprove compared to 13 who strongly approve her. Another 11% somewhat approve, another 4% somewhat disapprove. Okay. This goes back to what I was saying. Democrats, I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it like it is. Let's connect the dots. The Democratic Party in Virginia doesn't want you to have a voice. And now I have the receipts. Okay. 92% say we're voting yes on fixing the elections because that's what they're doing. When Louise Lucas and Don Scott say 10-1 maps, we guarantee it. That means you have something before us that guarantees 10 Democrats, 1 Republican before a single vote is cast. That's rigging an election. That's fixing the election. None of these are competitive. You guarantee that you'll have 10 because you drew the maps in a way that you know you're going to win. To me, that's cheating. If I was playing a game of checkers with you and I had already figured out who was going to win by changing the rules, you'd call me a cheater. This is cheating. They don't want your votes to count. Even before you show up to vote, you already know that the Democrats are going to win, so they're rigged. There's no other two ways to say it. They want to take away your vote. Your vote means nothing in rigged elections. This is what they do, and I'm not even going to go there because then I go down that rabbit hole. You start to sound like you're crazy. But I've got the receipts why this is not an isolated incident, and this is what the Democrats are trying to do. For people that yell and scream about defending democracy all the time, that's the last thing they're doing here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and I'm getting sick of it, and I think you are as well. You want to comment 833-804-1140. You want the proof? Let me connect the dots. So if you go, Rich, you're just one of those, you're just being a wacko. Okay. I can connect the dots and tell you 1 is an isolated incident, 2 is a trend and a pattern. Did you see all the bills that the governor signed yesterday or on Monday? There's one that actually takes your vote away for president. There's something called the National Popular Vote Compact. The Democrats passed it in the General Assembly and they sent it to Abigail Spanberger. And guess what? She put her John Hancock on it. So the same people that are pushing the maps that lock in congressional results before you even cast your first vote are now backing a system where Virginia's presidential vote can be overridden by other states. The compact that she entered us into does the same thing that this gerrymandering does, which makes you and I voiceless when it comes to our representation in Washington. Because again, why bother to vote if they've already fixed the elections? 10 Democrats, 1 Republican. That's called cheating. So they're taking away our vote. Now, if she enters us into this compact, here's what the compact says. If they get enough people to have a majority, then we'll see what happens. But here's what she's pledging to. By joining this compact along with other blue states, what they're saying is, no matter what the people of the state say, our electoral college votes will be cast along with the winner of the popular vote. So if Virginia voted for candidate A, but candidate B won the popular vote, our electoral college votes will go to not the person that won in Virginia, but the person who won the popular vote. They say they're protecting democracy and our voices, but if my vote can be overridden and your vote can be overridden, then we're not deciding anything and we have no voice. If your voice doesn't decide the outcome where you live, that's not a vote. That's merely a formality of showing up at the ballot box. And if that's the case, then why even bother to count the votes? Seriously, think about this. This compact says whoever wins the popular vote, meaning whoever California and New York decides to vote for, usually wins the electoral the popular vote. And by going into this compact, the governor, same one who gave $5 million and approved it to have this ridiculous gerrymandering vote, now says, you know what? Do we even need to vote in Virginia? Because your vote doesn't count because it's going to be overridden by the popular vote that comes from the East and West Coast. So why bother to vote? Why even bother to count our votes in Virginia if California, New York, Illinois decide who goes into the White House because it's a popular vote? The reason we have the Electoral College is so states like California and New York cannot dominate smaller states. But apparently, according to our General Assembly and the Democrats, and now Her Excellency Abigail Spanberger, that's okay. We will cede our right to elect a president to people that don't live in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Connect the dots. Your voice doesn't count. Your vote won't count because the Democrats are going to decide who represents us. That, my friends, is an attack on democracy. You want to comment? 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140 on the James River Air text line.